While Southwest may not be my personal favorite airline, they do have a very unique feature of them that could potentially allow you to get unlimited buy one, get one free flights. Today, we're going to talk about the very famous Southwest Companion Pass. My name is Sean, and I'm joined with my co host.
Hi everyone, I'm Sherwin. Today on the Credit Card BS podcast, all about the Southwest Companion Pass. How to get it, is it worth it, and any tips and tricks we have on getting it and using it. So let's first talk about what the Companion Pass does. It essentially, once you earn it, it grants you basically unlimited buy one, get one free passes as long as you hold it. So there are a few catches. Sean, why don't you tell us what those are?
So, yeah, the taxes, you still have to pay the taxes, the base taxes and fees on these flights. So, flights within the United States will be $5.60 for the taxes. So, very, very reasonable. Internationally, though, you can see significantly higher fees. So, let's say like flights to Mexico or the Bahamas or something like that. You could be seeing fees closer to maybe $100 one way. Now, that's like still a significant discount usually. Uh, but it's not going to be quite as generous of a discount as virtually free. You'll be getting, across the two tickets instead of close to 50% off, maybe closer to like 30% off, something like that. And so that's like one of the main caveats is you still have to pay the taxes. But if you're flying domestically within the US, it basically like isn't even a caveat. And then of course the only other like technical caveat is there does have to be a second seat to use. So you must book your first initial seat, and then there you must activate or add the companion to that flight before the flight actually sells out. Which may not seem like a big issue, but that's actually happened to me before once, where for a little bit my flight wasn't actually. I forgot to add my companion. Flight was totally sold out. Couldn't do anything because there's not a second seat to book.
Yes. Now, I do want to emphasize a lot of other airlines, like Alaska, they have their companion fare. I think American or Delta sometimes gives them as part of credit card bonuses or spend thresholds. Those only work one time. Whereas when you hold the Southwest Companion Pass, it truly is unlimited every single time you use it for that year and the following year that you're eligible. You will get that second person off. So, how do you actually earn this? Is there a lot of spend required? Do you have to fly Southwest a lot? It's actually easier than you might expect, and it does not even require flying Southwest a whole ton, unlike trying to chase airline status at some of the competitors. So, what you need are what are called Southwest Companion Pass qualifying points. And the key thing here is that points earned on credit card spend, including points earned as part of a sign up bonus, count as the Southwest Companion Pass qualifying points. And when you use those huge sign up bonuses to help you, you can get Companion Pass really quickly. So, Sean, what are the actual numbers we're looking at here?
Yeah, so technically it's 135,000 qualifying points. But for anyone watching this podcast trying to actually earn Companion Pass, it's going to be effectively 125,000 because if you hold a Southwest credit card, you get a 10,000 point waiver. So it's 125,000 qualifying points you'll need. And what's so interesting about this is the fact that sign up bonuses count toward this threshold. So it's not like the case where you'd have to spend, essentially an insane amount of money on a Southwest credit card or an insane amount of money on Southwest flights. You could actually technically earn this with a single sign up bonus. And we've seen this possible before where one of the Southwest business cards had like a 120,000 point sign up offer. And after you factor in the points you'd earn from the spending on it, you would actually earn Companion Pass with like a single sign up offer, which makes it really, really interesting as like a value proposition because this isn't something where it's like, oh, I need to hold top tier status with the airline. I have to fly a ridiculous amount to then get it. You could be a total amateur and get 1 to 2 credit cards, and those sign up bonuses would then count to that threshold where you would be able to earn it as someone that's like never flown Southwest before. That's how I earned it initially, as I've flown Southwest maybe like 3 or 4 times before in my life. But then I got the Southwest credit card back like a couple years ago when I had a 100K offer, and then I did a referral, and then I had Companion Pass for basically 2 years. And so it's attainable to someone who is not even like a frequent Southwest flyer.
I think that's a super good point. Like it's so much easier to earn than status at many other different airlines. Also, do note that if you're kind of close to the threshold to earn Companion Pass and you need some more points, if you use the Southwest shopping portal, those points also count as the points earned on those purchases count as qualifying points. So you could use that to get you to the finish line. Now, something very important to note is the duration during which your Companion Pass is active and how it relates to when you earn it. So when you earn Companion Pass, you hold that pass for the remainder of that calendar year plus the entirety of the following calendar year. So for example, if I earned Companion Pass in, let's say, November of 2024, then I'm only going to get that pass for that November, that December of 2024, and the entirety of 2025. But if you earn it at the beginning of the year, that's much more ideal because you still get that remainder of the first full year. So let's say I open a new card in December of 2024, but I don't actually put any spend on it and I don't earn the sign up bonus until January of 2025 when I qualify for Companion Pass. That is much better because then I'll have Companion Pass for the rest of 2025 as well as the entirety of 2026. So really make sure you try to earn the Companion Pass at the beginning of the year. And oftentimes this does require advanced planning of opening up Southwest cards near the end of the previous calendar year, but being very careful not to meet the threshold for the Southwest Companion Pass until the following year.
Yeah, I totally agree with that logic. If you were to open the card and accidentally reach the bonus, you're totally screwing yourself out of a whole year of Companion Pass, essentially. And so, yeah, like we have seen what's interesting is like, normally they've kind of increased the offers right in the time that like you ideally want to get the card. But like that Southwest business card offer that they had, that was not really an ideal time to get the card. But because you can get it with a single card, for a lot of people, it still worked. And we'll also see a lot of times like they'll have these like promo Companion Passes where like you'll get it for part of a year, where like maybe as part of the sign up bonus of a Chase card, a Southwest card, you'll get Companion Pass promotionally for like maybe 6 months or something. And that's also an interesting thing to look at. But I feel like I agree. The real value is getting the full on legitimate Companion Pass at the beginning of the calendar year, because then you do have it for essentially what is 2 full years. And that, that gives you the most flexibility to use it, because I don't know, like when they offer these like couple month promo Companion Passes, it's like, realistically, how many times am I going to fly Southwest within like a 3 to 6 month period? I'll fly a couple times, but like I'm not going to be flying every week or something, at least, for me. And I feel like a lot of people, like let's say you're traveling for work or something, well, the Companion Pass then has a little bit of more of a diminishing return because you're probably traveling solo. And so, yeah, I totally agree. The best strategy on this is to earn it at the beginning of the year, earn the full legitimate Companion Pass, especially with how easy they make it with just 1 to 2 cards. And because you'll be getting one personal and one business usually, you'll be able to only take 1 slot hit on your 524 score.
Yeah, I totally agree with that approach. And really, the time of the year to look out for these, I would say, is November, December. Historically, Southwest has tended to raise your sign-up offers around that time. And, I would probably grab the cards you need then and like literally put it in a drawer and do not spend a single cent on it until like January 1st, just to be extra safe, so that you don't lose out on an entire year of Companion Pass. I also wanted to add that this pass is super powerful and that it works for both cash tickets, but also points. So if you book a fare with points, your companion can also fly for free without any additional points. So that buy one get one is also good for redemptions. All they need to pay is the $5.60 of taxes in the U.S. And then possibly more abroad. But that's a really super cool thing, because also when you earn Companion Pass from these like big sign up bonuses, you're probably going to be sitting on a bunch of Southwest points that you earned as part of the sign up bonus, and you can use those to redeem from those very flights on which you're getting buy one get one on those points purchases. So it's like free flights on top of free in a sense.
Yeah, I think it's really nice like how generous Southwest is with the Companion Pass, because Like, yeah, there's no restrictions in it. Like, they could very easily say, oh, it's only revenue tickets, and it would still be an amazing product. But the fact that they allow it on points just makes it even better. And the fact that I love, there's no artificial restrictions, right? So like I could book a wanna get away fare, which is Southwest's cheapest fare. And if the only fare left on the plane is business select, and there's only one seat left and it's only business select, and I add my companion, they still get that seat. Now their fare class is not the business select fare class, but they still get to occupy that seat without any restriction, without any blackout date, regardless of how I purchase my ticket or how much I purchase my ticket for. As long as there's a seat on the plane, my companion can take up that seat. And so it's a really refreshing product compared to so many of these other loyalty programs that are subject to availability, subject to a separate inventory system, or any of that BS. It's totally, if there's a seat, you get the seat. And so I think, yeah, it's something that allows you a lot more flexibility, compared to a lot of these other reward products. And I think one thing that's interesting to mention as well on the note of flexibility is that you don't have to stick with your same companion for the entire duration of the pass. You can change your companion up to 3 times per calendar year. And that makes it really good, I feel like, because let's say you have a friend that you want to go travel with for a few months. And then that friend goes, I'm kind of burnt out of this. I need to take a break. But you got another friend that wants to go travel. You can change, to them. And then, oh, you know what? Another friend wants to go travel. You could change it to them. And so I think that's really nice. Now, I will note, like, you do not get to swap freely between companions. So, like, I add companion A at the beginning of the year. I switch to companion B halfway through the year, but then I change my mind. I want to go back to companion A. That still costs one of your switches, going back from companion B to companion A, even though companion A was already added as a companion. So every time you make a swap, it still hits that counter, but it's, 3 times per calendar year, I think is very generous. Like, it's not quite, okay, I can take a new friend every week generous, but it means, like, you're pretty flexible on who you're able to add, and it's a fairly low commitment thing to do to add. So that's the thing I really like about it.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. I wish it was truly unlimited changes, but I kind of get why they're doing this. I think 3 per year should suffice for most people in most use cases. Let me quickly go over the main credit cards to consider to help you earn Southwest Companion Pass. So on a personal side, Chase has the Southwest Priority Card. It is the $149 annual fee. Although there are lower annual fee cards, I actually recommend the highest annual fee one because it actually has the lowest effective annual fee when you consider the $75 Southwest travel credit comes with, as well as the 7,500 Southwest points every anniversary that you get. It also comes with 4 upgraded boarding reimbursements per year. Additionally, on the business side, the Performance Business Card, also issued by Chase, is worth considering. It usually has a pretty gigantic sign-up bonus, especially if you apply later in the year. Although it has a $195 annual fee, you get 9,000 Southwest points every anniversary, as well as 365 Wi-Fi reimbursements per year. And you can even use multiple per day. So it's essentially, free Wi-Fi on all your flights, unless somehow you're flying more than 365 segments a year. So those are the cards I would consider. You can get both, and that's how I would recommend doing it, because then you will most likely be able to hit the Companion Pass points threshold without any additional spend once you get those 2 bonuses. Now, do beware of the 524 rule from Chase, which states that if you have opened 5 or more personal cards in the last 24 months, regardless of issuer, Chase will not issue you any card, personal or business. However, business cards from Chase do not add to 524. So if you were to get both, like a Southwest business card and a Southwest personal card, I'd probably apply for that business card first, make sure you get it, and then go for that personal card, that order, and making sure you're under 524.
Yeah, I totally agree. You have to be careful 524 in this case. And yeah, totally agree with your strategy there. So I think we should discuss, we've praised this companion pass. We've talked about the specs of it, how it works. Is it actually worth it? Like, on the surface, it totally seems like, duh, yeah, it's worth it, right? Like, buy one, get one free flights. But is it as valuable as we're making it out to be? And For me, I've held the companion pass before. I held it for nearly 2 years, and I was so excited to get it. I remember that when I got approved for that Southwest card, I was like really, really excited because I was like, oh my God, right? I have all these Southwest points now. Buy one, get one free flights. I'm going to be going all the time. And I honestly like used it a lot less than I had expected. And for a variety of reasons. One being, Southwest has a fairly decent route network. I won't lie. Like the fact that they have Hawaii flights now, they have flights to Mexico. They have a pretty decent route network. No question there. But it's still a domestic small scale airline compared to these global airlines. So you're not going to be getting something like, flights to Australia or Europe or Japan or anything like that, right? You're still talking about fairly local flights. And you're also, I guess for me as well, like I started to enjoy flying Southwest less and less as I used the pass. Just with their whole boarding process shenanigans, I enjoyed it less and less. I found myself wanting to fly Southwest less and less. Now, with all that said, I still use the pass a decent amount. I used it to go to Maui. I used it to go to Cabo. I used it to go to Salt Lake City. I used it to go to other places. And I found myself, I'm sure I saved, well over like $1,500 with it, given the amount of fares I would have been paying. But it wasn't the degree of like nonstop, I'm going every weekend travel that I thought I was going to do. I think part of that is also like my interest changed of, wow, like as I got, because I was, still getting into the game. Like I was into the game, but like I started, earning more and more points. And I was like, dang, I want to do international business class. I want to go to Asia. I want to go, all over the world. And it's like the companion pass, I guess, started having a diminishing value for me in that case. Not to say I wasn't using it still, right? I was still using it. I still went to Cabo a decent amount, and I used it for that. But like, for example, on the Cabo route, it's like I wasn't even saving that much, to be honest, because the base fare isn't that high. It's really the taxes on that route. So like, my $100 ticket or my $200 ticket, the second ticket was still like $100, right? So I wasn't like really getting a buy one, get one free. It was more like buy one, get one 50% off kind of thing. And so my verdict on it is super valuable. I still think it's worth going for 100%, but I do think it is worth honestly assessing how much you will realistically use the pass, given your ability to travel, given your travel schedule, and then also given your interests. Because let's say you have maximum flexibility and you also have the budget to travel, right? That's like the best case scenario for using this pass. But if you have maximum flexibility and you have all this, how much of your travel is going to be on Southwest route network, right? Because their leisure route network is mainly Hawaii, Mexico, there's a few other places, but like there's nothing international. So if you're doing a lot of leisure routes, which Companion Pass is designed for, to what degree are you using it? I think it's worth an honest assessment, but I still do think like realistically, I mean, it's, almost buy one, get one half or buy one, get one free flight. So yeah, for most people, still very, very, very valuable as a tool. What are your thoughts, Sherwin?
Yeah, I do fly Southwest domestically as my main airline pretty much because of their free checked bags as well as their pretty flexible cancellation policies with the flight credit not expiring. I haven't ever like held the companion pass myself. I'm kind of saving it for later years where I feel like my domestic travel might increase, and also like there's been other chase cards that I really wanted to get and prioritized first, especially with the 524 rule. So things haven't really lined up for me yet to get it, but in a few years when I travel more domestically, I would definitely consider it. So what do you all think of the Southwest Companion Pass? Have you ever had it? Are you considering getting it now that we've talked about it today? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed today's episode, please help us out. Give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. It greatly helps us out a ton. Also, if you're interested in opening any cards, whether it's a Southwest card or any card for that matter, please consider using one of our referral links down in the description below. It greatly helps us out. And Sean, why don't you plug our Discord?
So if you want to connect with an elite group of award travelers and credit card enthusiasts entirely for free and learn a ton, check out the 100% free Travel Lane Discord group at the link in the description. You will learn a lot, I promise you. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.